Hello, we're here at IBS 2026. I'm here with Connor from Higharc. Connor, how's the show going so far?
Good, not too bad at all.
Awesome. What's been your favorite part so far?
Come to the show long enough, you meet more and more people, and then it's like going to a reunion. You see all your friends,
That's great.
and then your friends tell you about all the cool stuff that you haven't seen that you should go see. So,
Yeah, this is my first year, so
Yeah.
maybe I need more friends in my life
Well,
to tell me what I
you
need to
got one.
see. There you go. Thank you, Connor.
You're welcome.
We've been just hanging out at the show floor, talking to different people, and I've seen and heard your name come up quite a bit. So tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing and what you're most focused on right now.
Yeah, so Higharc is a product data focused platform. So there's great CRM systems in home building, there's great ERP systems in home building, but there's really not been a system before Higharc that handles your product data for what it truly is. And when I talk about product data, I mean your drawings, your home plans. Home plans are more than lines, they're more than pieces of paper. They should be digital, and you should be able to take the data out of that home plan and transfer it across your business into all the pieces that need it. At the genesis of everything that we do as home builders, I was a builder for 20 years before I started with Higharc, is a home plan. That's where everything starts. So we like to think of ourselves as the source of truth for that home plan data. And then what's getting really exciting is now we're able to transfer that data to CRMs, to ERPs, and really create an ecosystem for home builders that is completely integrated and handles all of it.
Yeah, everybody kind of starts from a different point. I've seen certain companies that start from the billing side, or maybe they'll start from the customer side. Like, hey, I want them to be able to select certain product options, but the home is where everything comes back to. And that's why I think it's so important what you guys are doing of like, take that, make that the source of truth, and then bring in all the other stuff. Because at the end of the day, like, those plans are going to dictate everything else.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about like the response that you've had and some of the conversations you're having.
This is our 5th year at the show. So 5 years ago, we had no booth. 4 years ago, we had a kiosk.
Okay.
And now we're here.
You're at the startup zone?
We were in the
Yeah,
startup zone.
we were in the startup zone last year.
Yep. So Higharc's come a long way. It's been around for almost 10 years now. And the conversations every year, it's so exciting every year to come back, and we have more and more functionality. And I've been with the company for almost 5 years.
Okay.
And when we started out, well, we were kind of like a toddler, and now I feel like we delivered value then, but every year we just come back and we've added more functionality and we've added more experts from the industry. One of the reasons that I came to work for Higharc is I have a home building background. And there's a lot of companies that come into the industry and say, we're going to solve a home building problem with our solution that is from some other industry. The unique thing about Higharc and what we love talking about is how many people we have from the industry and why that matters and why that makes our solution more applicable to home building, because a lot of people in the company have lived it.
Yeah, that's really cool. What were you doing when you were home building? Were you doing mainly custom homes or?
Well, I started out as a Pulte warranty manager.
Okay.
So I started out literally going in and, it's a good place to start because you're at the end of the line and you see the result of everything that's been screwed up.
Yeah.
Whether it was just somebody making an honest mistake or a problem all the way back with the home plan and everything in between. Then I did high-end custom for about 8 years. Then I was a construction director for a small production home builder in Michigan. And now I'm here. When I was a construction director, we were running on manual spreadsheets. We were just kind of doing a lot of what do we need to do to survive, and let's build our own thing in Excel and all these kind of ad hoc solutions. And when I saw Higharc, I was like, this is it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's really been an awesome journey and one that I'm proud to be a part of. And,
Very cool.
And feel like we're actually making a difference for home builders in the real world.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about innovation at this show and trying to, pin down the different claims that are made sometimes. And you see the billboards or the different things that people are advertising. And there's obviously truth in all of that, but innovation really comes when people start working together. And I think there's certain products that are going to do some really, really cool things in the future. But it's exciting to see different players integrate and create opportunities for each other. Tell us a little bit about the innovations that you guys are working on and just some of the focus that you have there.
cliche, but everybody's talking about AI, right? Really, for kind of the broadly, I would say for the second year. I think over the past year, there's been a lot of builders that have still been trying to figure out, well, okay,
How does this work for me? Yeah.
what do we actually practically do with this? We've got some really cool solutions. One of them is the ability to take something even as simple as a sketch on a napkin and load that into Higharc, and using AI and generative design actually create a floor plan and create a home out of it. Is that home perfect? No, but would you rather start at 80% of a design or 0% of a design? And so that's been huge. And then just overall, being an open API platform like we are, really starting to kind of branch out and connect with other companies and figure out. A great example is a company called On3 that does training for people out in the field. And just some simple little things that I think make a big difference in the daily life out in the field for people. We have an integration with On3 that allows somebody in the field who has a printed set of plans, they can scan a QR code and they can get field training. So if they come across a window flashing detail they don't understand, that's going to be in that plan, but if they need more information, they can scan it right there. They can get information on how to install that correctly. So hopefully we're eliminating errors, we're eliminating problems for the customer. So a lot of cool things like that. We announced a big integration with ECR Mark Systems, which is obviously one of the biggest ERPs for home builders. We've been able to integrate, but it's been a more manual process. And so being able to take our automated takeoff data and send that directly to Mark Systems is just going to be huge, and that is signed and in process now. So that's probably the thing we're most excited about.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious from your perspective, what challenges are builders still facing, and how are you trying to solve those?
Yeah, I mean, affordability is huge. I saw a stat yesterday that was houses below $500,000 is like 50% of the market, and 80% of people can't afford those homes. And so you can only address affordability two ways. You can increase price, or you can find a way to lower costs for the end user in home building. So I think that's still a big issue. And I do think builders are starting to realize that they need to figure out data first solutions or they're going to get left behind. When I was a construction director, we could still kind of limp by on spreadsheets and kind of doing everything by hand and doing everything ad hoc. And I think what we've seen this year is Higharc is able to bring tools that traditionally were only able to be supplied to large builders to more mid-sized builders. We're still a great solution for large builders as well. We've seen a lot of builders in that medium-sized range who might be competing against national builders, who are looking for tools that allow them to be more profitable, so that they usually can't compete on price, right? So, but even if they can, if you can increase your margins by efficiencies, having the same number of people be able to do more. We are not replacing drafters, we're not replacing estimators, but I don't think any architect would tell you they went to school in order to draw dimension strings, right? So that's a big thing, I think, is just being able to let your staff do more. Yeah, literally.
Absolutely. And I saw a post the other day that was talking about, like, if architects only knew how much pain they caused downstream by just giving everybody a PDF. It's like we all kind of understand that, where you're trying to read it, and hopefully that's one of the benefits of AI, is that we can take this unstructured data and make it a little bit more structured and a little more streamlined. But especially when it comes to the decisions that have to be made, if you can make those decisions a lot faster, and you can expedite that process of communicating with the home buyer or the home builder, that really is what will drive the efficiencies that will make some of the costs come down. You can't do much about the price of lumber. You can't do much about some of these other costs. But if you can speed up that workflow and those efficiencies, that's a really tangible way that price can be reduced.
To defend the designers and architects as well, we have historically done a terrible job of getting the information where it needs to be, having old versions of plan sets, having outdated information. A lot of times we fix those problems and then we never get the solution out before the field, follows through on that problem. So as a former design build employee who has good architect and designer friends, I would say that we are definitely 50% of the problem.
I love it.
sometimes we don't build what they design, and sometimes we just do it wrong and we don't follow the instructions. So.
Yeah, no, I hear that. We do trust design software. And so really the benefit that we've seen is being able to open up the market to people like Higharc that can integrate. We both have open APIs that can play well together, where you say, hey, we're not going to do all of that engineering or all of that actual structural side of it, but it being able to bring in some of those things like the trusses or some of the building systems that are inside of that. How do you think about the systems that other people are creating and how that can play a part in what y'all are doing?
The open API is key. I've talked to a couple ERPs over the course of the last couple of days. It's definitely been a shift in the last 2 years, I'd say, at least when I've seen it, where suddenly all the software companies are going, well, they're not coming for us. We're not coming for them. We're trying to do our piece and do it really well. And though Higharc does a lot of the pieces, we don't do all the pieces. And so why not partner to help move the industry forward? You know, home building has been on the verge of this tech revolution for like 30 years, you know, and everybody thinks it's now.
The promise of it, yeah.
Right. But I mean, I think I got to say, I think it's happening now. I think the ability to have all this stuff finally be online and to be able to move more data online than we used to be able to is just now that we're all going, hey, we've got good data, you've got good data. How can we share that information
Together?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice change, to be honest. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for standing here and talking with me, kind of walking me through what y'all are offering. I'm excited for what the future holds and looking forward to seeing more.
My pleasure. Thanks.